Good morning, and hope you guys are doing well. Unlike myself, feeling a little under the weather this morning. Last night, we overnighted a keyless entry kit from Digital Dog, Digital Guard Dog. Had a great conversation with, I think his name was Dara or Jera, something like that. But anyways, he's pretty knowledgeable about his stuff, his equipment, as I hoped he would be. And we went ahead and selected it. So we'll go visit the guys. They're outside and they're commencing the installment. And again, I shouldn't even be here. I should be at home. My whole family been sick. I've been dodging it. And as they're getting better and smiling and becoming normal again, you can hear it. Anyways, let's go check the boys out. All right. This is a recently purchased 73 Corvette from a classic car dealership in Michigan. And it's a 73 C3 Corvette. And there was a gentleman, I guess, that built the car for the previous owner. He is now deceased. There's some simplistic workmanship, things that were not addressed, like this, moving all over the place. We don't even know the response of the motor because we can't get it started. And apparently they purchased one of those keyless entry systems, possibly from Amazon. Hey guys, let me squeeze in here. So what are we doing today, Andy? Andy is one of our lead technicians. We found him off the street last week, and we snapped him up, and we're hoping to get some great progress out of him, right? No, what are you doing, seriously?
Fixing to install the keyless start system on it.
Wait, take two. I need enthusiasm. Easy. Was it that one guy came to visit us? Easy money, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Try telling that Miata, that roll bar installation to Duncan.
Right.
Boy. Anyway, so they've got the door panels off. There are actuators in here. And as you can see, they replaced the column. That is not original, but there's no key as it would have been original. So the plan was to incorporate a push button start, and that's fine. When we went through the procedure and went to start it, I clicked as if the battery was dead. All our connections were tight. We had outstanding continuity. Our battery has got an Optima back there with about 900 cold, 1,000 cranking amps. It was 12.7, but it clicked as if we had bad continuity and a low battery, and then the whole thing just died. So, and then it would reset itself after sitting for a while. So that led us to believe something within the brain. Here's our new kit. The relay is just gone. And it kept doing that over and over and over. And I guess they walked through with the customer when he purchased it, and he did walked us through the same procedures they shared with him, and each and every time it just died. When he got possession of the car, it worked, I think, once or so. And he also says it runs like a rock or something, you know, just hard, as he put it. That's because he got a stock suspension in there. They didn't do anything. Like I said, this was a budget build. They skimped corners. I don't know how in the hell he spent 100 grand on this. And it's like this right here, this roll bar in the back, okay? You were relying between here and this. And if you ever rolled and hit hard, this is gone. But this, you're thinking, all right, at least I got this. I'll protect my head, my neck. Not so. There's no lock feature on this at all. And what good is that? But anyways, that's what she's here for. We are carefully opening this up. We're going to gut out the old system, install this system here. And again, if anybody's interested, it's Digital Guard Dog. And it is IKEY-O. And their phone number is, well, you can look them up online and give them a call if you're interested. So anyways, I'm going to leave the boys behind. I'm going to go take some meds, cough drop, shot of whiskey. I'm going to go home. Later, dudes. All right. Anyways, we're going to check in with them a little later and see how progress is doing. Panel off. Got the seat out of the way. This is pretty invasive, and they're most likely going to have to access the center column. And what they're doing is just following along and gutting out the old system to ensure we have no issues or problems, and installing the new system. All right, coming along.
Pretty good.
Yeah, you got some clips up there too.
Right.
And hey, and also, hey, you got one last screw right over here. So our new system will tie into this. So yeah, you're gonna, and see this right here? You're gonna get the heat gun and heat this up. It's Dynomat. I don't want to destroy this, but we have to heat this up, and you have to pull this up here at the corner so we can, yeah, these are all brand new. All this was replaced, all of it. We have to access into here, and then you're gonna have to fish out through the wire loom. There she is right there. And then fish out all your wiring that's gonna connect into the new system and into these actuators, door lock actuators. All right, guys. She's a beauty. She's nice. She got a great deal on it. I won't tell you how much she got it for, but obvious reasons. But supposedly they put over 100 grand into this car, and he didn't pay nearly that much at all. So whatever he's enduring right now to invest in it, hey, it's all worth it. And especially the fact that he can't start the car. Neither can we. Anyways, we'll hook up with you in a bit on the next segment and see how they're doing. Okay, so anyways, I'm just doing my paperwork. You can tell by how excited I am. Let's go check on the boys and see how they're doing with that Corvette. All right. What are you guys boasting about?
Oh, you know, just clucking
Look at
away.
her hiding behind the desk there.
Just clucking away.
All right. Oh, boys. Oh, boys. All right. All right.
Green wire.
The blue wire connected to the, what's that? Don't cut the red wire.
Yeah.
How are the things going?
I was just trying to get this figured out what his wires
So
were going.
what was going on with the wiring? Because Junior here told me that it was a little shoddy.
Well, he's got it just tied into all kind of shit on here, really. I mean, you can't.
Nothing original.
No.
But I
nothing
noticed
here.
that's a original fuse block.
Yeah.
That's original.
All
And then-
this is not.
This here is the sensor ring for that his old remote. And then you were saying something about the connections were hot glued in.
Right here, but let's see.
And then also Dakota told me that they just Velcroed that thing.
You can't really see it from there, but it is right here in this main plug. It's
Okay.
glued in right there.
But what is that glued into?
To his other module that ties into this module.
So why do we have two modules?
That's why I got to look these up to see.
Okay, yeah,
what
there's
he's
no
got
name on
going
that also, right?
Not on this one, but on the other box it does.
All right, so we still don't know unless it's underneath that. That'll pull up if it is. We still don't know what that is.
That's probably some kind of cheap crap he got off in it.
All right. Yeah, we already discussed. It's like Amazon. Did you know that the shifter does not lock?
What?
It just goes to and from. And he's got a Circle D for overdrive, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's in the way right now. All right.
Yeah.
So let's just for shits and giggles, let's get a piece of paper. Drew, get a piece of paper to put right between here, just for added protection. Okay. So yeah, there's nothing on there, is there?
Nothing.
We'll have to look at that, but still. But this other one is all self-contained. Where is that new box? The control
It's all
box.
over there.
What's that? Oh, you got it over here? All right. So, they're working on that. This is our new box. Everything is contained. And we got a different plug completely. So, that's why, as I mentioned to the customer, chances are, and plus that button is nice. His original one sticks. We couldn't reuse anything. There's our instructions. Our wire, these are antennas. Here's the rest of our wiring harnesses. He's got 2 remotes, and he's got these 2 key cards here. And instead of that circle ring that you see over there for the sensor, and this is the same as the original, as to where there's not like a remote start off the remote. It's still, once you enter the car and you swipe this toward the, we're gonna have to put this in a spot to access. And you can see here some of our heavier gauge wires. Most likely that's going to go for our start and ignition. But in any case, we're going to have to wire this in. Now, we estimated about 10 to 12 hours, but it seems like it could take a little longer. And again, given the circumstances and the environment, that not so much the external environment that we're working in. I mean, we're working in a garage. But what I mean is what we have to work with. We have to be careful. I mean, this could have been an old truck that was almost original, and you can get in and out of those without barely unbolting or removing anything. R&R, remove and replace. So anyways, I'm gonna get my butt back to work here, and I'll check up on the boys in a little bit. So we'll see you soon. All right, let's go check on the boys and see how they're doing with this 73 Corvette. They're putting it all back together. We've again sourced the problems with in the electrical for the keyless system. Hey boys, what's happening? How's it going?
Pretty good.
All right, so again, we've Andy, we've isolated the problem. There was a lot of electrical shoddy work. Also, the battery terminals, bolts were kind of stripped. They're on snug, but we changed those out. I did that yesterday with Dakota. And then so we had to take all this apart just to source and get to the CPU. And you said it was a 2-box deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
And it's by Electric Life?
Right.
Yeah, we haven't had any great experience with them. I've been trying to get a hold of them for 3 days. They don't answer emails, they don't return phone calls, and they certainly don't answer their phones. And it's a cheap unit. I think it's like 105 bucks. We bought one by Digital Alarm Dog, and it was $7.59 delivered with tax, something like that. But since we got this one to work, we decided to give the customer a call and give them the option of not having to move forward and do the wiring. Now this wiring, if we did follow through and put that new one in, was going to take like 2.5 days of work, plus the cost of the unit. Yeah, that adds up. So, and you know, we took this as an in and out for a couple of issues, such that the push button didn't work. And that's what we've been trying to reach out to the manufacturer, because it sticks and it's just cheap. In fact, you can find them on Amazon. They're on our Summit Racing, but they don't sell what we've got. They don't sell replacement parts. There's just only a couple of switches. That's about it. So they're in the midst of replay. They've already got the door panel back on. Then once we get this all buttoned up, we were trying to, I spent the morning finding all the needed parts for the emergency brake. Apparently the guy that had built this car for the previous customer out of Michigan had passed. He's now gone. There's no information, but when we check the rear brakes, they are Willwood, but they do not have any e-brake application. And there's no lever here, of course, which that's not cool. So we were pricing some parts. We'll get a hold of phone the customer in a moment here and let him know and see what he decides to do. And we're trying to get this baby out by this weekend. If anything, he can come back, we can reinstall or install and fix the e-brake. We just want to get it up and running so he can enjoy it throughout the holidays and well into next year. And as far as the button, you're gonna have to touch it on the top of the button because it will stick if you hit it on the center, and you got to keep tapping at it. So when there's a ring underneath here, and these are the leads that go underneath, or here it is right here. This ring is the receiver. There is a basically, it just sits there, that's it?
I guess so.
Yeah, look at that, what that bracket or whatever, I don't have my glasses
That's
on
for
again.
the old wiring harness, that's where they run.
Those are
on.
the straps.
Yep.
Okay, so this guy had gutted small areas to get this aftermarket ring in. What it is, it's the receiver. There's a magnet on the keychain, and what you do is you just hover it over this ring, and I'm not sure if you have to actually hold down the brake, because there's not a secondary switch on there, is there?
No, it is tied into the
Oh,
brake.
it is tied into the brake. So you gotta sweep the magnet over here. And where are the keys to this? Right there? Okay, there it is. This blue thing right here. Okay, so the remote will unlock the car, and you'll hear it chirp twice. When you lock it, it'll chirp once, and then you hold this blue magnet over this. You don't necessarily need to rub it or anything, and you hold while holding the brake. Then you'll hear the car want to activate. There is a speaker, and that's when you push the button, and that starts the car and engages the ignition. And when you want to shut it off, you basically push the button again, the car shuts off, and then as you exit the car, close the doors, you hit the lock, she'll chirp once, and the car will lock. And we'll show that later. And we'll see how she's running. Customer indicated it runs kind of like a rock, but this is an original stock suspension. Nothing changed. Looks like and I don't know about the motor. I don't have any information on it, nor does the customer. And 9.9 times out of 10, it sucks. That's exactly what happens. And there is no paperwork on these builds whatsoever. When we build our cars, you're going to get a file. You're going to get an invoice. It shows what part, when, how much, and the labor to install it. You're going to get all of that. So you have history to back the car. When it gets sold, oh, it's an MSD or it's an Edelbrock. It's by Energy Suspension, Comp Cam, whatever, Holley. But that is like the serpentine kit, the radiator. I have no idea where it came from. So if you don't have a name brand, and we had to fish on one of the boxes underneath the dash, had a small label showing Electric Life as far as the remote keyless system was concerned. So that's what helped us out in my search to try to land the part. Now we had some minor oil leaks and stuff like that. They had this bolt down here. This was loose, came in contact here. So I had to remove this, tighten this down. We had a leaky, this cheap, here's the bolts by the way. You could see, they are so stripped, one worse than the other. So we replaced them. The battery's still good. This thing cracked. That's the cheap plastic drain plug for the transmission. It had been leaking. We tried a few. In fact, the fourth one worked like a charm, and we got the leak off the plug to stop. Now, needless to say, until we get some heat in the motor and we get this thing up and running, we will only then determine whether or not we still have oil leakage on the whole passenger side, just rolling down the frame. And then we still have to hook up into keyed power the light. He had us install a light kit, and then here it is right here. Instead of, and this thing just protrudes out, and there it is right there. It just bolts on. There's the opening for the lead, and then this is a 3-wire that goes into the CPU. So we're just gonna put this back together again, and there it is. It's kind of sticking, and it's kind of cold out. You know, the environment, there it is, it's stuck. I don't know if you saw that. So he can work with this, and then later, when and if we ever, or the customer decides to have us change this out, and whenever the manufacturer ever does get back to us, we can get a replacement, and we can easily change this out, and it's basically plug and play. So we are going to check on our other tech and see how he's doing on that 69 Camaro. We're almost about ready to get her started up. They still got to put the seats in. Like I said, this electrical and troubleshooting gets involved, especially when the gentleman that put this together had perished from the earth. So it looks like you guys got the dash pretty much installed. You got the door panels on. So it's down to seats. And then we've got the front center console. Let me get in here. Okay, yeah. All right, so what are we looking at, Andy? What do you figure?
Huh?
About another, within a couple hours or so? And then you got, looks like you got a little wiring to tuck over there. And then once this is all done, we can start the motor and see where we're at there. And hopefully it looked like there was a disconnect on the vacuum. Hopefully, because they've changed the actuators and the diaphragms on the headlamps. Hopefully we can get them running for him, because he is aware they're non-functioning. So he'll greatly appreciate that.
Right.
So other than that, how's things going?
Let's go.
It's going. You look...
I would compare this to the Lambo.
Oh my God, you're kidding me. Comparing this to the Lambo? That... Oh my God. You sit there and you pray ominous like 40, 50 times and hope for the best, right?
Yeah.
Well, that one's come a long way. I can't wait. All right. Hopefully this one isn't as bad as that, but it's an original car, a manufactured car from a name brand, Chevrolet. Unlike that kit car with Chevy parts, it's not the bad part. Anyways, so that's the Lambo we're talking about over here. We've had this for 2.5, maybe, yeah, 2.5 years, and it's been a nightmare. I mean, the owner loves this with a passion. Yes, that'll get spun around. We're gonna do a final check, tune, check the timing, but what I have to do is, and that's my next step, I have to find a cable and then stick that under the dash. I know this has nothing to do with the Corvette, and I think this is taken from a Corvette, or it's got some Fiero parts, but right here, we're gonna mount and have a pull lever and then connect it into the latch, which is GM, and that way in the event he has any electrical issues, he's safe. He can get out of the car. God forbid if he was stuck in the car, didn't have his cell phone, and he's like in the middle of nowhere. I mean, you're screwed. I mean, these windows here that we had to fabricate, they do, and because of the door, the fiberglass, they don't go up and down. I think the originals might have slid, but again, this is a kit car. It's not an original Lambo, and that's just the thing that we get into when we're going through a given vehicle. Welcome to our world. You know, even with this factory Corvette, there's some things that were avoided, like the e-brake, things that weren't maybe installed the best way or wired or whatnot. So in the biosphere of our work, the scope of our work and what we're doing, we're ensuring that as we're working our way in and throughout and back out, that we're making sure everything is properly installed and handled. And in the event like the e-brake, the customer wants to do that later, but at least professionally speaking, we brought that to his attention, and that's a major thing, because not to advertise, years ago, it's been over 20 years, I grew up, my generation, to eat likes the Evil Knievel, and a little touchy, but we thought we were invincible. Hell, we drank water out of garden hoses, and we would break our skulls open and jump and leap off of monkey bars, and no problem. Mrs. B, Jim cracked his skull. I'll see him at dinner time. Tell him 5 o'clock, don't bother me. That kind of stuff, so to speak. That was just a different generation, a different time. But I thought 4 wheels in a roll cage, what could be safer for my children? And it was an engineering disaster, and she lost her life. And it's devastating. You never think as a parent that'll happen to your children. They're not supposed to go before you. But these vehicles here, these are my children. Actually, they're the owner's children. Okay, they're family. And and this is a new customer. I don't know him personally. I have no connection to he. I don't owe him anything. But I'll tell you one thing that I do owe him. I do owe him my professional opinion and concern for his and her safety. How about that? So he's enjoying and cruising on a given day, and he's riding with his dog or his kids or his wife, girlfriend, friend, whomever. Want to ensure the safety and the safety of that ride so they can enjoy it as a hobby and not become the death or serious injury of them. So we always keep that in consideration. We'll bring that to the customer's attention, and they can, now if it's something severe like a cracked frame, we got to address that. There's no plan B, or I mean A or B option. You want to take care of that now or later. But in this case, the emergency brake, he's going to wait off on that, and it's their call. But at least we brought that to their attention. So I'm going to get my butt back into the office and see if I can land that emergency cable, release cable. Oh man, now talk about getting into your work. You still alive? Compromising position, huh? Jeez. What'd I give to be skinny again? Damn. And your kid's even skinnier than you are.
Yeah.
He's just like 2 feet taller, though.
That he is.
Oh, shit. So, how you doing? You almost wrapping it up?
Oh, yeah. Just trying to get this vent.
And then we got the seats and that center console. Okay.
Now, I ain't going to do the console until we get the brake ship put in.
No, he's going to pass on the e-brake right now.
So we're not going to put this part in?
No, we're not. He already advised him of it. I let him know that it wasn't, there was no e-brake. Well, he knows that, but I let him know that back here.
Oh.
That's weird. For some reason, I got shut off there. But I let him know that the Willwood brakes that he's got here in the back didn't have provisions for an e-brake. So,
Yeah.
Oh well. All right, I'll let you go, get back to work. And so we're almost done putting this guy back together. And then we're going to add everything up and let the customer know that his baby's ready to come home for Christmas, or actually before Christmas and New Year's, and enjoy the car. So keep following along. All right, hey, it's time. Welcome to the end of our 73 Corvette video. Customer just showed up. We equally just got wrapped up with the car, at least my guys and I did. And I, in addition, finished off the paperwork. But here she is, 1973 Chevy Stingray Corvette. The gentleman over yonder had purchased this from a dealership, a classic car dealership, correct? Classic car dealership out of Michigan. And unfortunately, and we hear it a lot, the builder, the owner had no paperwork. I don't know why, because he's probably not provided with anything. So there's no history on the car. And the gentleman that built it had perished. Andy, you take that side and just give it a nice little, make sure that this, and do a nice little boom. And then Yeah, that. Okay, here, you got to try that again because I had that. You're probably gonna have to release the handle. Okay, okay. Now when you come down, you got to give it a good snap. Go. Ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. How's that feel? Good. Because when he hit a bump, he had indicated it came apart. So it's not even in the right spot. These are gonna, and that's the other thing. This is going to bang against your paint. So chances are this car was recently painted. I don't think this car had been built like say a decade ago, and then all of a sudden they decided to sell it down the road. I think it was kind of a recent build. He did what yeah, there you go. That explains it. Otherwise, you're gonna learn some issues with the car, being that you're gonna find out its fallacies down the road. And right now, we've already identified some of them as we spoke earlier. So Andy, without further ado, do a walk around. Let's fire this baby up again, okay? And just tell them exactly how you're going about it, what you're doing. I don't think you need to rub that thing on it. You just need to stick that up.
It on there, 'cause you can hear it.
Oh, and the water pump too, since that was low. Pay attention and monitor it. We're not sure if the bearing is starting to go out. It's not literally making a loud noise, but the guys were listening to it early, and it makes perfect sense because the coolant was down about a gallon. And then Drew here found, I have a picture of the leak on the floor, and I said, look on the lower, which is on the passenger side. Sure enough, into the radiator at the hose clamp, that's where it's leaking. And I guess it'd been leaking for a while, and nobody spotted it, and that's why she came in a gallon down. Okay, go ahead. So you take that blue, and this is by a company called, not that we want to even advertise them, Electric Life. And if you try to get a hold of them, forget it. See, that's the noise. Did you hear that initially? When he started it up, and then it stopped? That's up there. Okay. So, do you see how it's idling lower? Okay, get in, hit the gas. I want you to shut it off, turn it on, and listen to that baby. Oh, and this light is out. Did you hit the brake again? I just noticed that. Yeah, your brake light is out on this side, just so you know. And they will give you a fix-it ticket.
Is this the right side?
It's the right side, correct. Okay, so you shut it off. Go ahead and start her back up again. No, you got to keep your foot on the brake. And then you just set it on. You don't have to rub it, and that engages. And then push once, bam. And then when you're ready to shut it off, foot on the brake, and then touch that same button, and then you hit your remote. Now that you have a new battery, that's up to 12.4 volts.
I just want to make sure that works.
Yeah. And then your lights. There's your remote for the lights. We got your side pipes on, your shield. And it's running a little fat. You smell that? I know you pretty much, I don't know, you probably have open headers.
Do you guys have the sensor for this?
It's under the car, so you just hit the on button for it.
Yes, you'll have to wait at night to check that out. You can see something now. And this guy here, this one sticks. Look at that. There's something in the system. Look at it. When I push down, you see how that opened up? Yeah. When you came in, they were both open. See, now that's locked. Something's still going on with your lights. Yeah, this is locked now. You can't move it. What is that white controller for? His original one. We're still here all week. I'd like him to be here, but he's taken off all week. So even after the first of the year, you call me, come back, and we'll take care of that. No charge, okay? All righty? I mean, paid us a job. We'll see what's up.
That was not my main concern, so we got to fix it.
Oh, we got that all fixed. It'll do that all day long. And, hey, here's another thing you'll appreciate. Come over here. Now, I want you to work this, and she's snug. You can see that little arc because I had to refill this in.
Oh, yeah,
And then make this little bracket. It's a support bracket. And then I had to bolt from there to here. I supplied some nice button head stainless bolts. So now when you go ahead, you lift that up. And then you're going to grab, watch your fingers. Yeah, and pull that back. Yes.
No, forward.
Just enough.
Forward, right?
No, oh yeah, forward. No, back. Back, Andy. Back. Yeah, because it locks that way. You see, it's snug. Okay, now get your hand out of the way, and then what you want to do is when you close this, bring this right up about here. Boom, you see that? Yep. But grab it right here in the center, and you're gonna have to Arnold it, you know. Yeah. It must have more power. What is it? Strength or whatever he says. Anyways, pump you up. That way you're not tweaking this. It is fiberglass. Okay. Okay. So, anyways, and Andy, will those go down?
I don't know what he's got going on with the back.
They just went up and locked.
Okay.
They just, I know it came in like that.
You have to start the car.
Baker was doing it, and that's why we ended up going with the electronic motor.
That electric kit will solve everything. Like I said,
we'll come back for that.
They want $1,050 plus tax and shipping from Corvette Central, and my guy, U.S. made. It was like $795 plus tax and shipping, $350 less, we'll basically. Okay, or whatever. Do the math. All righty. Well, let's go do some paperwork. All right. So that concludes our '73 Corvette. Andy, thanks. All right. Thank you.